Well, whatever you're doing, another day, another moment to remember. This is the day that Tadej Pogacar, barring any sort of very strange incident in the final week, is on his way to casting the final verdict on the Giro D'Italia with a week remaining. He's on his way to having 6 or 7 minutes of a gap right now. And behind, they're going for what they can. This is Einer Rubio, and he's going to be chased by Thymen Arensman. Arensman, who lies in 6th place in the general classification. Rubio for Movistar, trying to move back up after he dropped out the top 10 in the time trial yesterday. And this is Covilli. He, of course, was in the day's breakaway. 16 seconds now. And Tadej Pogacar is now 3 minutes in front of the main GC group on the road. Luke, this is quite something, isn't it?
It really is. You know, as soon as he got Nairo in the sights there, that's a huge psychological boost. You know the gap is coming down. You're hearing that in your ear, but to actually see him with your own eyes, it's like a real character chase. You can see him, that perfect view there. He's just going to reel him in now. And like you said, they had a simple plan, and it was just executed very well by a strong team, and they had the best individual in the race. We thought that at the start. It was clear to see until this point, and now he's just really stamped his authority on the whole race. Very impressive today.
10 years ago, the man in blue was all dressed in pink. He won this race on the other side of this mountain. Now with 2 kilometers to go in 2024, it's another passing of the baton from the old generation to a man who is a generational talent. Pogacar reaches Quintana. No time to talk. And listen to this. This is the soundtrack to his glory days. The Slovenian flag flies. The Italian tifosi scream his name. And Tadej Pogacar, all dressed in pink, rides away to yet another day of glory. Absolutely sensational. Inside the final 1.5 kilometers, and he's now about to go onto a road that until just a couple of days ago didn't exist. Tarmac specially for the occasion. Up a ski slope. Nothing this for the man who was born not far from some of the biggest ski slopes in Europe. Tadej Pogacar again. Gradient goes up here to nigh on 20%. But after what he's done, what he's achieved, what he's been capable of doing, this is nothing for him. He sent the crowd bananas again. And well, on his way to finishing yet another exploit. This is the sort of thing that the Italian fans love, isn't it?
Well, they definitely love this sort of racing, and they love this style of riding. And Pogacar, again, he just these monster performances. This is another one. After the time trial yesterday, let's not forget he had to put in that huge effort. A lot of the guys in the breakaway had an easier day, so all of that counts as well at this point in the race, but it doesn't seem to affect him at all. He just recovers amazingly, and you can see the way he rode past Quintana there. Quintana did not even try to get in the wheel. He was just going at such a fast rate, and the gradient where he passed him, all of that, and we can see here he's just powering away, and you can see the advantage he's pulling out of. The guys he have left back there in the GC hunt, 3 minutes, and they are giving it their all here, and this man is just pedaling away as if he's out on a Sunday spin.
Quintana, they're getting a push. By the way, the surface here is sort of more compact gravel for a few hundred meters before, when it gets steep again, it goes to that new tarmac road. This is Steinhauser turning onto the ski slope at Mottolino, that's dressed in pink, ready for its first ever finish of the Giro D'Italia, and this is a finish that's going to go down in history. Look at that man. Slovenian flags fly left and right for a man who flies the flag for his nation in international sport. There is nobody who can do anything like what Pogacar can do at the minute. Here's Zana, the latest victim behind, looking to try and find Tiberi. He's been in a little bit of trouble. Thomas being pulled up the hill now. O'Connor starting to slip and slide at the end of this group. Jan Hirt riding a good race as well. Martinez with Thomas and Arendsman here. They're still travelling at 3 minutes from Tadej Pogacar. 1 kilometre to go. It'll be one of the slowest kilometres he'll ride. Not because he ain't trying. Gradient's up to almost 20% here. And before we see him across the line, Luke, a word from you on what we are watching.
It's an incredible performance that we're just getting all too used to have the privilege to see. You know, time and time again, we see this new generation of superstars, whether it be Poggi, whether it be Van der Poel in Paris-Roubaix or Van Aert. You know, this new generation of absolute weapons. And time again, they do these amazing things. Going like he is here, sticking 3 minutes into the GC groups. And sometimes you just have to stop, tip your hat and say chapeau, because it's a pretty special performance. He's grabbed the bull by the horns. He's going to put himself in a commanded GC lead here. I just hope he doesn't take his foot too much off the gas for the next week, because this makes pretty special viewing.
Ben O'Connor in a little bit of bother here. The podium's looking that little bit further for him as both Thomas and Martinez stretch their small gaps. Jan Hirt is having a pretty good day, though. He's moving up in the general classification. 700 metres to the line for Pogacar. Sean, you've seen so much down the years. So many special exploits. So much from just this man in the last few years. But today, surely, it's one of those days, isn't it?
Well, when you look at the situation, you know, further down the mountain, when the breakaway was a long ways out in front, and you would think that he'd wait for quite a bit longer, not to go for a long way out, but he did take it up, and the way he just rode away from the other contenders in the GC classification, and the way he just pulled back the advantage to the guys that were still out in front after being in the breakaway all day. Another amazing performance. And on the easier part, he was just, you know, pedaling away there, looking like he wasn't under any pressure at all. Now, you know, it's a real steep section here. It's, you know, 19% in places, 20%. It's normal that it looks a bit more difficult for him, but we can see just a monster ride again today.
The sound of victory turned up to 10. They scream and cheer. One of the most beautiful natural backdrops you could ask for. There's the top rider in the world's most beautiful cycling jersey. He's going to finish the job with a week to spare. And that's no exaggeration. Barring any incident or accident, next week, Tadej Pogacar will win the Giro D'Italia. He's blown them away again here. Already the biggest lead at this point in the race before today. He's on his way to doubling it. 13 kilometres from the line, he was still in with those he's fighting against. An extreme acceleration out of that group. Catching riders one by one. Beating the former winner. And here he is to claim his prize. Tadej Pogacar. Dressed in pink. Turning up for the occasion. And crowning another day in cycling's golden age. It's a party at the top of the mountain. They know they've seen something special. A beastly stage for a beastly rider. Tadej Pogacar looks back, sees more empty road, and he's riding away with the Giro D'Italia. An image for the ages. A rider for the history books. A fourth stage win at this Giro for Tadej Pogacar, and without doubt, the most beautiful.
Has ripped the Giro D'Italia apart.
And on another hand, you have to say, welcome back, Nairo Quintana. He gave it a go, a real hit out. Cannot compete with this new generation like that. But Nairo Quintana, Nairo man, has his fans cheering for him again. So Pogacar across the line. Another podium, more plaudits. This time, Sean, with what he's done here, it feels different.
Yes, I'm stuck for words here. You know, that performance again today from this man here. He just goes on and, yeah, a phenomenal performance, as he, you know, does so many times. But, you know, this stage, when you consider all that, it's just one of the big performances of Tadej Pogacar's career here. The way he just blitzed away from everybody. Yeah, he's just getting stronger, and yeah, he's just killed the race off really now, because the advantage he's took out of the rest of the men here, still fighting out on the road. We were, you know, a little bit of hope he might have a little bit of a difficult day, the first big mountain stage after the time trial. They might be able to put him under a bit of pressure, but not at all. We can see those riders, Geraint Thomas, Danny Martinez, they're all fighting to limit the losses here, and the losses are going to be huge.
Already at 2 minutes. The start of the day, Quintana was hoping to get in the breakaway. He did that. He finished second to the man who led by 3:41. He's going to end up leading by a lot more. There's Balde, stands to take some time back. Rubio as well. This is O'Connor, who's had a bit of a recovery. And Tiemann Arendsman, after doing that work for Geraint Thomas, starts to fade a little bit. Thomas and Martinez again right away from O'Connor. And look at this effort from Thomas. He's doing best to limit what he can. He's doing best to keep his second bot on the podium, but with 500 metres to the line, he made that move. 150 to go now, and Martinez is trying to steal back what he can. Remember, it's tight between Thomas and Martinez for that second spot. Here is Balde, battling as always. Thomas has held on though. It looked like he was about to crack there. It's a real gutsy ride from Geraint. Balde across the line at 2:49. It's 2:51. 2:51. Put the bonus seconds on there. And another 3 minutes for Tadej Pogacar, who has almost doubled his lead. Where were you? What were you doing on the day that Tadej Pogacar turned up 2,000 meters above sea level in the high mountains to double his lead at the Giro?